What's up, guys? So welcome to episode 8 of Project Reborn. This episode will be kind of a different one. I just wanted to take a moment to reflect on the year that has passed, 2023. What has happened, what has not happened. Hopefully there will be some valuable things that you can take with you from this video. But I also want to look forward to the future, to 2024, and what's next, what plans I have for 2024. So it'll maybe be kind of a rambling video, and I'm kind of tired, so I don't know how well I will deliver in today's video, but I'll do my best. It's completely fine if you don't want to watch the entire video. That's totally up to you. I've got plenty of other videos on the channel that you can go watch, but for those of you who want to watch this, I'm really appreciative. But I thought I could start by going back to the very beginning of the year, January 2023. So in Sweden, preseason starts in January, and this time we started in the second or third week of January. And this was me heading into my second professional season. 2022 was my first one, and in that year I really just wanted to get the experience, get as much playing time as I could, and just keep learning about the game and about this new level that I had reached in my career. And I didn't have very high expectations in the first year because I just wanted to learn. I had another mindset heading into this season. I had higher expectations on both the team, but mostly myself. I felt that I had gained a lot of experience from the first year, and staying in the same club, same people, more or less, I felt like it was a great chance to truly step up and really move on to the next level of my career. So fast forward in January, February, those are really the preseason months. There's some games going on, but mostly it's training, and it's training in snow, sometimes all the way down to minus 15 degrees Celsius. So it's not as fun to play football in Sweden in preseason as maybe it is in summer, in August, and in the rest of Europe. But yeah, January, February, I felt really good. Like I had a lot more confidence on the field, and I played a lot better than I did in the first season in those first few months in the preseason games and in the trainings. I was really a different player to the first year, and even my coach said this in front of everyone. He said that I was a different player to the one who came in, and he spoke about what I did in the first year. And just looking at me now, it just started to look like I really clicked into gear, and there were a lot of other people in the club saying the same thing, and I felt the same way. So, I was really pumped and excited to head into the season and really step up. And then we came into March, we played the final few preseason games, and then the season started on the very last day of March, a home game to Odevold. Now, in the last few weeks leading up to that game, I lost a bit of form, so I started out on the bench. But I didn't look at it from a perspective that, I have to play every game. I looked at it like, over the course of the 30 games that we are about to play, I will make a step up, and I will show everyone that I'm a different player and I can really perform at this level. But the first 3 games, I came off the bench late. I think I played 20 minutes in the first game, 15-20 minutes. I played maybe 5 minutes in the second game, and maybe 10 to 15 minutes in the third game. And then in the fourth game, we played at home, and then when I warmed up for that game on the sidelines, I felt like my hamstring was a bit tight. But you're always tight as a footballer. You train 4 to 5 days a week, you play 1 to 2 games a week, there's gym training, there's individual training. Of course you're gonna feel that in your body, and there's nothing weird with my hamstring being tight. It's been tight many times before, and nothing has happened. But I came on in the 70th minute, and about 5 minutes later, I went for a max sprint to get ahead of the last defender, and I pulled my hamstring. I realized it as soon as it happened. It was like a sharp pain, like something popped in the back of my left hamstring. And yeah, 5 minutes later, I was out of the game, and we won. But it was a weird feeling because, you know, everyone celebrating in the dressing room. I was lying there on the bench and, you know, just thinking about, okay, what's next for me? How long am I gonna be gone? Because up to that point, I had rarely been injured. And that's after 15 years of playing football. I've rarely been injured. The longest I've been out has maybe been a few weeks, and it has never been anything serious. But this was really the first time that, yeah, something big happened, and in my mind, it felt different. But you know, I went to the physio, and we concluded that, yeah, okay, I have pulled my hamstring, but looking at it and its severity, it looked like it wasn't that bad. So that made me get my hopes up, and I was thinking like, okay, maybe a month, maybe maximum 2 months, and then I'm gonna be back, and it's not gonna affect me that much because I won't be out for that long. And I started doing my rehab, everything moved along quite nicely, and then I believe about a month later we had a cup game, and I was gonna try to be involved in that. I started in that game, played pretty good, but then maybe in the 40th minute I made another max sprint forward, and I felt a slight twinge again. It was not like the first time, not at all, but I felt something small, and I played the rest of that half, and then I came off, told the coach that, yeah, it's not feeling that great, I'm gonna come off. And yeah, I had pulled my hamstring slightly again, and that made it even harder, and I had to go back to do my rehab. And now we're in May somewhere, and I kept going, did the rehab, watched on from the sidelines, did what I could. Then the last game we had before the summer break, which is in July, we had a game in the middle of June, the end of June, and that's when I made my comeback. I came on, played maybe 15-20 minutes again, if I remember correctly, and this time it worked out fine. I didn't go for a max sprint because I was a bit afraid to do something stupid in the last game heading into a break, but it worked out fine, and yeah, that was really the comeback, and it took me 2 months to get to that point, but then we headed into the summer break, and I felt like I was really going to use this break to get myself back to the level that I was previously at. Now I had made my comeback, but now I also wanted to get back to the performance levels that I knew that I had in me. And this was something that I realized was easier said than done. We came back towards the end of July, after a summer, after the vacations, and I still felt the hamstring. And that sucked because I didn't feel like I could perform at 100%. I felt like the hamstring still limited me, and that was hard to take because I believed after having made the comeback that I would then be able to, you know, after a month of summer where I could rehab, strengthen, get back to my previous levels, I thought I could, yeah, get back to those levels that I know I could perform at. But it was definitely easier said than done. And we came back towards the end of July. In the games that followed, I remained a late game substitute, and I really started to question the entire thing because there were a lot of things going on apart from the injury, and I felt a big lack of motivation. Many players ask me, how do you stay motivated all the time? And the reality is that I don't. There are many days where I feel like I want to quit and ask myself if it's truly worth it to pursue this career. And in August and September, I really felt a lack of motivation towards the entire thing. I didn't perform. I didn't feel like it could go at 100%. I didn't feel like I could do extra training to get ahead, because that would just be bad for my hamstring and maybe I would get injured again. So I was kind of in this limbo, like this in-between state where I really didn't know what to do. And yeah, I started to really question whether I should keep going or not. I obviously need to play the remainder of the season, and the season finished in November. But I said to myself, let's do the very best with the months that's left of the season, and then after that we'll see what I'll do. And during this period when I really considered to quit, then I really started to notice the things that I actually enjoyed. And when I started looking at it from a bigger perspective, then I really came to the conclusion that I still love the game, but that there were some things at the moment that made me not enjoy it as much. And I mean, it will always be like that when you're a professional. It's your job, and you will not always enjoy your job. And I think that's how it's gonna be no matter what you do in your life. But there were some things that I didn't enjoy, and yeah, it really made me consider quitting. But when I went through those last few months where I started to come back into a bit of form, but I lacked consistency to get back into the starting 11. I scored some goals, I performed really well in some games, less well in others. I wasn't very consistent in training. I had really great trainings, but then I could have really poor ones, and I think that also had to do with my motivation and not really caring about whether I performed to the level that I could or not, because I just figured, well, I will quit anyway. And then I was like, no, I will not. And it just became an up and down. It just became an up and down thing. Then in November, the season finished. The team finished really strongly. We were last placed in the table for a long time, but we won a good amount of games towards the end, and we gave ourselves a good chance of staying up in Etan. But then in the last game that we had in November, played at home, we were down 2-0 to another relegation contender, and we turned the game around and won 3-2. And at that moment, we still had a shot of staying up, but we depended on another result to go our way, and it didn't, and that meant that we were relegated and we went down into Division 2. So season over, and now I headed into a new phase. And in the 2 or so months that preceded the last game, I had started to prepare for what would come after the season. I had decided that I didn't want to continue in the team. I wanted to try something new, and that's when I landed in an idea, and that idea was what you now know as Project Reborn. I've already spoken a lot about Project Reborn in the previous episodes, especially the first ones where I explained the project in full, so I won't do that now. But I feel motivated again, and I feel a love for the game that I haven't felt in a long while, and that is exactly what I wanted to achieve with this project, and it's nowhere near finished. There's still a lot of time to go, and I have found people that can assist me and that I can partner up with in this project. For example, Rice, who will be an integral part now during the project with the training, but also towards the end of it when I will try to find a new club. And when I started this project, I didn't know for how long it would last, and I still don't know, because things may happen, things may change, but right now it's looking likely that Project Reborn will end in the summer with me pursuing new professional contracts in different professional clubs. And now heading into 2024, I will be a free agent. I will go through with the project, with Project Reborn. I will do my own training, and I feel more motivated than I have done in a long while, and I start to felt a love for the game again that I also haven't felt in a long while, because I felt like football hasn't been this passion. It's been more of something that I just have to do. Something that someone just tells me to do. Whether I want it or not wasn't very important. Now, I mean, it's only been 2 months since we finished the season, and I already miss it a bit, being part of a team and all that. So we'll see what happens. But right now, I will stick to what I'm doing. But after this project, I believe that I will be very eager to join a team again, and I can't wait for that day. I mean, I have no idea what will happen in 2024. I have set up the plans to put myself in as good a place that I can possibly be with my training and with everything else around it, that I'm gonna come out of this project a transformed player, which is the goal of it. But I have no idea if this will work. And this is something that I've learned now in the last couple of years, that we have no idea what will happen in the future. And before, I was very adamant on trying to control every single thing of my life, every single training session, everything I ate, I weighed everything. I was really obsessed in that way. But I've now had this realization that we can't control anything other than the things that we can't control, obviously. But I don't know what will happen in the future. I don't know what will happen in the next 6 months, the first 6 months of 2024. I don't know what will happen in the next year. Where will I be when I make another reflection video at the end of 2024, heading into 2025? Will I still be in Sweden, or will I have left for another country? Will I still be doing YouTube? I think I do, but I don't know. I mean, so there's so many things that I don't know, and that makes me excited as well, because I just want to know what happens. And that makes me motivated to go up every day and do the training and, you know, create videos for you just to see what happens. Write my own story and share that, and then see what happens. That just makes me so excited. The question in this episode is from Footy.9, and he asks, can we see your weekly schedule? And if you have watched the previous episodes, you know that I've been doing a lot of testing in terms of my physical ability, in terms of my tactical knowledge, in terms of my mental knowledge. And as you also know, I'm working together with Rise Football in this project, and we have now come up with the initial program for Project Reborn, and that is tailored to my specific needs in terms of technical skills, physical attributes, mental, tactical. It covers all parts of the game, and I've added those sessions in to my weekly schedule, so I will leave a screenshot from my calendar where you can see exactly on what days that I train. You'll be able to see how much training that I do, but also bear in mind that this will be for the next 2 months, 1 to 2 months, and then the program will change as we head into another phase. But this is the first phase of the program, of my schedule. But you know, other than that, I don't know what this video turned out to be. I don't know if I will be able to make something out of this. I'll have to put out an episode, you know, remain consistent. That's the most important thing. We'll see what turns out of this. But this is the last video of 2023, and I would just like to thank every single one of you who have been watching my videos and who have liked my videos, who have commented on my videos, and who have subscribed. And I mean, when I started this year, I checked yesterday, I started this year at 613 subscribers, but to me at the time, 600 people was a lot, and I mean, it still is. Just imagine 600 people out on the street. I mean, it's a lot of people. And since then, we now grown to almost 11,000 people, and I mean, I don't have any words for that. And the responses that I get on my videos are overwhelmingly positive, and I would just like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I love to help you out in your journeys by sharing my experiences and sharing what I've learned, and that so many people appreciate that. That's something that really, you know, warms my heart. So if you have made it to the very end of this video, I would just like to thank you for being a part of this, and I hope you want to continue to be a part of it for 2024 and the future as well. But that's it for this video. Kind of a weird video, I'm sorry about that. But that's it for this time. Take care, and I'll see you in the next year. Bye.